Wubba-lubba-dub-dub, my fellow squanches. It's time to talk more Rick and Morty with Season 8's penultimate episode, Morty Daddy. Man, could you imagine having an eternal teenage Morty for a father? It just doesn't get any better than that.
Oh, come on, like you didn't know I'd do that?
But all jokes aside, it's time to get trashy.
Trash. Yeah, I love trash. Yum, yum, trash.
Hell yeah, I love that little guy.
Overall, I found Morty Daddy to be a solid base hit for the show. It's going to fly under the radar for most, not being one to turn many heads or end up as anyone's favorite, and for me personally, it's just squeaking in as an inoffensive, unassuming, basic adventure. At least as much as those terms can apply to Rick and Morty, that is.
Come on, some. They're clearly luring us into some complicated 12 steps ahead examination of determinism and causality.
The humor was almost non-existent for me. I can't really recall many jokes aside from the obvious ones towards the beginning and the end. The real sauce this episode has going for it pertains not just to revisiting the Morty Jr. storyline, but also its thematic messaging, its soft world building, its pop culture references, and a whole lot of trash talk.
I'm sorry for trying to sell you out again. The only thing that ever made me valuable was trashing you.
The episode dabbles in heavier themes such as fate or determinism with the precogs and cancel culture with Morty Jr. However, it rarely felt like a deep introspective on these subjects, opting for a more lighthearted approach, allowing them to poke fun at these ideas without really having to say too much or take too strong of a stance. But even then, I do like where this episode ended up and the overall messaging it left me with, personally speaking.
Poor Salvatron. They were just like us, afraid of being discarded. But today, we begin a new era where everyone has value, especially authors. I'm still a little trash.
I guess you get it from your dad.
Thematically speaking, this felt to me like a sequel to episode 7, Ricker Than Fiction, once again diving into the ideas of trashing others publicly, whether that be online as some troll, or in a book as a professional, published author. We all remember how Morty Jr. defamed his dad publicly with his memoir, My Horrible Father, and if not, the episode did a fair job at reminding you, but then Morty Jr. is revealed to be weak and feeble in the hospital, wishing to pay his respects to his dead and trashed mom.
I know she was made to process seed and never technically alive, but I'd still like to pay my respects.
And I feel like there's a lot to glean from this setup and the following story. I think that on one hand, the writers are saying birthing a human being does not automatically make you a mom. Like, there's an obvious line between being a devout mother and just a trashy person with a kid.
It's okay to hate your kids, Morty.
But
Beth saying that it's okay to hate your child is a little nod towards this direction, seeing as we all know she is nowhere near a good mom. When she tries, she can be on top of it, sure, but typically she's a self-absorbed, apathetic parent.
You think I'm proud of any of my life choices?
yeah, I did hear about the soft canceling.
Oh,
Secondly, when it's revealed that Morty Jr. was soft canceled, it felt like the show was saying anyone can fall from grace, the higher you are, the greater the fall, and in the end, you'll just be lumped up with the rest of the trash. It seemed at first to me that this was the catalyst for Morty Jr. seeking out his parents. I had thought he had come to the same realization and was looking to make amends or become a better person, but of course, in the end, it's revealed yet again that Morty Jr., ever the male Gazorpian, was just looking for inspiration, aka another way to exploit his dad for a cheap sequel that will sell, unlike his Enchanted Goblin series.
it's the Enchanted Goblin series.
Yeah, it's like our Bible down here.
I wrote Enchanted Goblin, all 7 books. I guess you really enjoyed that box set I sent you.
We have a complicated relationship.
And lastly, to really drive this message home, the episode gifted us one of the most impactful lines in the series to date, and it's such a simple one, but so effective given how it's packaged with the rest of the story.
The only thing that ever made me valuable was trashing you.
The writers are obviously poking fun at cancel culture here, basically saying, hey, it takes one to know one, especially when it comes to trashy people. But I also love how this line ties into the B-plot with Rick, Summer, and the Cogs, as it hints at the continuing message from the show that nothing matters. No one is going to make things matter for you. No one is going to make things better for you. You cannot rely on others to assign value to your life and the things which fill it. You have to do that. And if you're not too careful, there are those who will try to drag you down to their trashy level and beat you with experience. Even godlike beings such as Rick or the Cogs can be trashy a-holes who will not assist you. In truth, there is always someone trashier than you ready to take you down, so keep your head low and live your life however you wish. It's up to us to block out the haters and live with the purpose that we are able to carve out for ourselves. No one else is going to do that for us. That is, unless you're trash yourself.
Okay, nice. Oh, nice. Oh, very enthusiastic. This is so great. Oh, Kyle! You thought me having someone edit my social media would make me look stupid? You should see all the comments I'm getting. People are actually really stoked on me now.
It's a pretty brutal job sifting through all that darkness.
And ironically, in my opinion, Summer was a great example of this, despite the fact that she spent a majority of the story trying to prove to the haters that she's more than some basic bee.
Lay it on me. Avocado toast?
With cracked pepper on top.
Okay. I mean, pepper's pretty normal.
So are you. You brought us to a restaurant from the internet.
Is avocado toast what I wanted? Okay, it wasn't. And I'm a good hang. You were right. We used you to get to your grandpa to get to you. Damn right. I knew I wasn't a basic avocado-ass bitch.
Why are you sulking? You wanted to be at a restaurant with Cogs. This is nominally different at best.
I wanted to be at a restaurant with you. I just wanted you to try some cool shit with me.
Summer, you wanted me on this dumb hang because deep down you think you know what I want. This thing actually knows before I even want it.
Summer is clearly craving a relationship with her granddad, which is very in line for her character. In fact, one of the first times we saw her display such feelings was in the original Gazorpazorp episode. She is seeking out opportunities to bond with Rick and get to know him better, trying to find something that would appeal to the both of them with a precognition restaurant that can predict your appetite.
Oh my god, so worth it. Perfectly predicted.
Oh, I did want this, but I never saw it coming.
Oh snap, the wooden balls. You think the Cogs are behind there?
Who cares? This place is all gimmick.
Are you grumpy about everything? They bring you food and you eat it.
And I'll admit, I was a bit confused at first as to why Rick was making such a strong 180, seeing as he's been nothing but supportive to his family this season, especially with his daughters. And you know, now that I think about it, maybe there's something bigger going on with that, seeing as the finale will be dealing with some of those same feelings and perceptions.
Why are we dunking on Rick? He's been a loving dad to our family for as long as I can remember.
Excuse me?
However, upon further reflection, Rick does still want to spend time with his family, otherwise he would not have gone with Summer in the first place. He caved into going to this gimmicky restaurant because his granddaughter was showing an interest. And it's only when she refused his warning on escalating the situation that he bowed out for something that would better serve him, which again is perfectly in line with his character. He is extremely petty.
Rick Sanchez will realize the Cogs are a better hang.
What? That'd only be true if...
The Cogs only want what he wants.
Okay, what do I want?
Dessert. It is already ordered. To our cool safe house.
I'm listening.
You're flipping sides over dessert?
Hey, I like my meal.
But this is exactly what you said they do to me.
Yeah, and you got us into this mess. New plan, Summer. We're taking these Cogs to go.
But anyways, Summer never gives up. She gets to the bottom of it, carving out her own purpose and seeing to it that she accomplishes what she sought out to do. Which is not only proving that she's complex and not just some basic bee, but also that she's a good hang. Honestly, she and Rick deserve each other. But hey, at least Summer was trying, and you know what? She was actually quite on top of things, especially with the Rule of Three, one of the show's favorite gimmicks, as we've discussed many times before in this series.
Jesus, Summer, you hit it with a pan?
I thought I would see it coming. I even teed it up a little.
Summer Smith, come out with your hands up. You are under arrest.
How'd the cops get here so fast? Gas. Oh, come on. Like, you didn't know I'd do that? Picked up on that, huh? Like, you didn't know this was coming? Damn, rule of threes, huh?
I know I gave the episode a low score for its humor, and I stand by that, but I still did find enjoyment with its own gimmicks. I mean, for one, there were a ton of pop culture references, and I loved how they tied them all together so seamlessly and made them fit into a single cohesive narrative. It goes a long way to making the bits of world building feel that much more intentional, even though we can all agree that some random alien restaurant and a trash moon aren't the most interesting bits of the show's world. But that said, bringing together references for Mordor and the Eye of Sauron, the Precogs parodying the Minority Report, and of course the Goonies is no small feat. And that's not to mention the dozens of other Easter eggs sprinkled throughout the episode. Which, is it just me, or has the show been getting a lot bolder lately with its canon, especially with revisiting previous storylines? Season 7 opened up the world of Alphabetrium, brought back the likes of Unity, Mr. Poopy Butthole, Dr. Wong, and the President, and it revisited Evil Morty and Rick Prime. And so far, Season 8 has been just as daring with the Citadel, the Galactic Federation, the entire Clone Beth saga, and now Morty Jr. And by the looks of next week's promo, we could be dealing with Memory Rick or the Fear Hole, God forbid. The show has never shied away from continuity, and maybe it's just me, but it does feel like it's been leaning even more into its roots lately, as the show continues to get a more mixed reception from fans and critics alike. However, all that said, one trend I really do like seeing them bring back is the idea of beginning or ending an episode with the family sharing a meal together. It's just such a nice way to include some characters who don't have a role in the main story, ensuring that they have at least some presence of some kind. I felt that Season 7 had lost this trait and made each episode feel more segregated and isolated from the show, especially seeing as they had zero B-plots. I mean, you were either a main character that week or you were just out of luck. So, in my opinion, while Jerry poking fun at it was very funny and quite meta, I like this minor course correction from Season 8, as it just feels a bit more connected when they do stuff like this.
I gotta ask, is someone requesting pancakes? Because it feels like we eat them all the time.
But I want to know what you all thought of this episode down in the comments below. Did you find it exploited your interest in the show? Was it too gimmicky, too trashy, or was it just right? I gotta say, I've been spending so much time in this world lately that it's all starting to get a little bit fuzzy. I mean, when they got to the restaurant, I was telling my wife, watch, Rick is either gonna get the most delectable, complex meal ever, or it's gonna be something stupidly simple like buttered toast. So I wasn't too far off, but still genuinely thrilled to see the spin that it was Summer who got the short end of the stick. Definitely made for a much more interesting premise at the start for me personally. At the end of the day, this one isn't trash, but it is gonna fly under the radar and be one of those episodes I almost forget exists years and years from now, but one that I'll still be happily surprised to find in my queue. So for now, my eyes are aimed forward, full steam ahead. We've only got one more episode this season before we wrap things up with this series and do a big episode ranking, so let me know your big theories going into next week. My personal favorite is that Memory Rick will make a return. Perhaps he's the one who's been messing with Jerry's memory of him, I don't know.
Day 8 of attempting to escape Jerry's mind. It has become increasingly clear my daughter married a man who remembers all technology as powered by springs and gears. Escape remains possible, but increasingly unlikely.
Morty, we're still in here! There's a memory of myself as a 30-year-old! He kept our egos intact! He saved us! It was a whole action movie, Morty! Memory Rick, he's still trapped in here! Quick, tackle this fucking thing!
But also, one last thing I want to get out there is that I've noticed these videos have been performing worse with each week, so I am considering that for next season, I'll just pivot to reviews of the shorts form and then do the big episode ranking at the very end. It's still entirely possible that more and more people will find these video reviews once the full season is out on Max or on Hulu, wherever it's going to be streaming. So I will keep that door open for Season 9, but I just wanted you guys to know that I am considering alternatives. So all that to say, if you are enjoying the content, please leave a like and a comment. Tell me your favorite topping for breakfast toast, it doesn't matter. And consider sharing this video with a fellow fan of the show, and subscribe if you have not already. Those are the easiest and best ways to support what I do here. They tell not just me, but also YouTube that you are enjoying the videos, and they should keep pushing them on other viewers. But as for now, that's going to be it from me. Thank you all so much for tuning in and sticking around. I will see you all next time.
Summer, this place runs on future predicty precog bullshit. You don't want to get caught up in that.
I'm gonna say something.
No, Summer, you're not Morty. I can't just grab you.